Flash number 22 next. Joshua Williamson and Dan Panosian on the art. The art would be my one main negative here, is I think the art's a bit rough. If I get it actually gets rougher as it goes.
I don't know. There's certain parts where it looks really good, like the Grodd in the beginning looks terrible, but there's Grodd in the middle where he's with Negative Flash with Mina, and it looks like a legit gorilla, like he used photo reference. So I appreciated that. Some of the up close stuff is okay. I didn't like the coloring because the coloring made it look like a pulp comic at parts. At least the physical copy I was reading, it had those dots for the color, and there's one over Mina's face where it was supposed to be shadow, but they were all those old school dots, and I was just like, oh, that's not a good look.
Yeah,
I don't know if that translated on the digital.
No, I mean, I see it. And there was just a couple of pages. There was one page where Wally's running towards for lack of a better word, the camera at the top of the page.
Yeah.
And it just looks weird and deformed. Even the logo on his chest looks really sloppy.
Yeah.
His face looks bad. Like, there was just, as I was reading it, there was more and more panels where I was like, oh, what's happening here? So that's unfortunate. But
speaking of sloppy with Williamson, I thought that it was Barry that taught Avery how to calm down and not phase in and out. Because here...
It was, yeah.
Here, she says it was Mina. And I was just like, okay, that's not correct.
Yeah, I remember it being Barry as well. You're right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, she says, you taught, Kid Flash how to control your thing. You taught me how to not phase in and out. And I was like, no, Williamson, you were writing this. You have no excuse, man.
Interesting, yeah. I don't know how to excuse that. That's a shame. However, I did like the rest of the issue writing wise.
As did I. I'm intrigued who this other Barry that before he was hit by the lightning, because we really don't get much of that. Like we get young Barry with his mom, and then he's Flash, right? But this one that August is talking about, like you became a different man when you were hit by the lightning. Who was that Barry? I want to see that. Like, I'm intrigued by that.
It's interesting. Obviously, it deals with the fact that Barry's kind of obsessed with getting his power back, and he kind of ignores everyone's warning. Obviously, there's young Wally and Avery are trying to talk to Mina. Mina is like just flat out evil. She's like sort of playing them along for a little bit, and she's about to zap them. Godspeed just flat out calls Barry out and he's shit. You want me to help because it gives you like a free pass, because you can feel better about what you're doing if I'm helping you.
So like that August, he's a perfect anti-hero here because he killed people and that's terrible. But like when he sees me, he's like, yeah. So I guess like kind of killed you. So sorry about that. But I did like that, and I like also that they tie the Speed Force back to the gorillas, and the Grodd is the one that created a black hole, and it's based off of that the wall paintings and stuff in Gorilla City that Salavars showed Barry before. I thought that was all cool, fun Flash mythos stuff.
Yeah, and obviously Wally, dealing with the Speed God and going in trying to stop what's happening. Of course, Barry doesn't listen. Barry uses the lightning rod. He gets his powers back. He's full page spread. I'm Barry. I'm the Flash. I'm the fastest man alive. And then he's like, yeah, you should have listened, because then the final cliffhanger is like, oh no, by doing this, you've given Grodd complete control of the Speed Storm.
He is the Storm.
Yeah, and we see that he is now controlling all of the other speedsters. They're all kind of like possessed with Grodd, which is,
which is scary, because he used to be able to do that anyways with his mind control, right? Telepathy, but now telepathy plus Speed Force. Like, I feel like the Rogues are going to be making an appearance soon.
Does Barry get the Rogues to help?
I think something along those lines.
They may need to. I mean, geez.
Yeah, because who can take on the Flashes? The Rogues, or maybe the Renegades from the future. Maybe that's how we'll tie that in. That they come to Barry really mess this up. Maybe. But yeah, and I also like being a Wally West guy. Like, he is my Flash. I do appreciate Barry, but the pedestal that Williamson's putting him on, where they're like, oh, he's having no problem dealing with Raijin.
Oh, yeah, because Grodd's like, he has an understanding of the Speed Force.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know who he is. He's like, oh, that's whoever this Flash is. He has this connection to the Speed Force that is different from everyone else. So that's pretty cool. And
he's just doing things with ease that Barry's been having issues dealing with, and I like that. You know?
Yeah, and of course, when he shows up next to Godspeed, Godspeed's like, "Oh, who's the rookie?" And he's like, "Rookie?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm Wally West, sunshine."
Yeah, so I'll excuse some of the sloppiness just because it plays to my fan sensibilities.
Yeah, no, that's right. No, that's a fair. I never even thought of that, but now that you've reminded me, I remember Barry being the one who's saying, "Hey, this is like how I did this," and I, think of something calm. Maybe someone will correct us. Maybe we were kind of misremembering that scene because it was like way back in issue like 3 or 4.
Yeah, it was when they introduced Avery, and then
she's
she's gone on to become the Flash of China, which is cool. Like I like that they gave her that spot.
Yeah. So I'm still loving this arc of the Flash. I still think it's big, prominent arcs, putting Wally on a pedestal, as you say. I love that young Wally and Avery also feel a good supporting cast. It really feels like all the speedsters are kind of involved right now. All the ones we have, anyway.
Feels like a Flash family.
It kind of does, doesn't it?
Weird.
And we're all building up to Flash War in May, which is going to just about break us, no doubt, I imagine.